He's had an adjustment to make, moving over basically to the off guard and letting Gary Payton run the point.
And there's Jason Kidd, who clearly has turned this Nets franchise around. If any one player has ever done that for one team, certainly he is on the short list of guys who have done exactly that.
Oh, absolutely. I think I saw a stat that said pre-Jason Kidd, the Nets averaged about 30 wins a season, and in his couple of years in New Jersey, it's 50 wins a season. That's a pretty good turnaround, and he sets the pace for the whole show when he is on his scoring game and running the floor and rebounding. It's like the Pied Piper, and all the Nets follow him, and he's a pretty good one to follow.
That's right. There's no doubt that he sets the agenda, and everybody falls in line. And they run the floor, and they get the ball back when they do, because Jason Kidd, one of the great pushers of the ball and the great distributors of the ball of this NBA era.
And you just can't get the ball out of his hands. There is just no way to do that. It's just a matter of slowing down the other guys.
Well, Sam Cassell starting quickly, and this is the first lead of the series for the Bucks.
Again, we talked about Sam earlier, and he is a big game performer. He wants the ball in his hands.
Gary Kittle's dumped out. They forgot all about Richard Jefferson for the easy jam.
Well, if you move the ball on offense and the guys away from the ball do some cutting, there are going to be some openings, and the Nets pass the ball as well as any team, with the exception maybe of Sacramento.
And a foul away from the ball, Joel, for Isbilla.
Now that's an interesting insertion into the line. Here you see the ball movement. Hit the open man without hesitation. That's unselfishness, and it comes from the lead of Jason Kidd.
Kenyon Martin, good post position, going right at Tim Thomas and scores easily.
And he should, because that's a mismatch right there. Strength-wise, size-wise, they match up pretty good, but Kenyon Martin is very used to being an inside player. Tim Thomas has always been a perimeter-type player.
Desmond Mason into the lane, scoops it up with the right hand, doesn't go off the glass. Here comes Jason Kidd the other way, sees the whole floor, as always, but this time turns it over.
And Sam Cassell got in the passing lane, deflected that, and it's a turnover, one of the rare turnovers you'll see from Jason Kidd. A tough pass to complete.
Tim Thomas.
Now the Bucks have to establish some sort of inside game. It's crucial, and I don't see where it's going to come from with the lineup that they have on the floor.
And it's really been a problem for them. They've been a competitive team with great talent for a number of years now, but they've never had those big guys who could score inside. And the foul out front, that basket won't count. The foul happened before. Sam Cassell picks up his first.
It's funny, all the big guys that they seem to have over the years are almost mirror images of each other. None of them really have a post-up game. They're all tall and thin and more defensive-oriented and more rebound-oriented and non-scorers. And that's exactly what they have this year in the three guys, Irvin Johnson, Prisbilla, and Gadzuric.
Richard Jefferson beats the shot clock with a tough fadeaway, 6-2 New Jersey.
Well, Richard Jefferson has been a key for this Nets team all year long, and if he gets off quickly, it's just going to take some pressure off Kidd and some pressure off Kenyon Martin.
Nets foul along the baseline. Kerry Kittles will pick up his first. George Karl has plenty of playoff coaching experience, a record of under 500, but has taken his team to a finals with Seattle back in '96.
Where his point guard was?
Gary Payton hitting there right on cue. Amazingly, those two used to see, it seemed, the stories were really used to battle it out, clash, but now they get along great.
Well, they're both older and hopefully a little bit wiser and more tolerant of each other.
Here comes Cassell. Cassell, of course, won 2 championships in his first 2 years in the league as a member of the Houston Rockets. Came off the bench for them. Payton, strong to the basket, high off the glass, and we're tied at 6.
And that was a strong move, and with the exception of Kenyon Martin, there's not really a shot blocker out there for the Nets, so Payton can take it to the basket, and he does that very well.
Nets are moving beautifully without the ball. Reverse for Richard Jefferson. He's got 6 of the 8 New Jersey points.
Sweet up fake and under and reverse lay-in. He's got, what'd you say, 6 points already, and he only had 10 Saturday for the whole game.
That's right. Jefferson picks up the foul there as Mason took it into the lane.
Now that's a pretty good matchup right there. And see here you're seeing Payton come into the lane and goes up and over Jason Collins, who is not a shot blocker.
Fadeaway jumper Gary Payton is seeking to answer some critics now. He has 6 of the 8 Milwaukee points.
Yeah, he was embarrassed Saturday, no question about it. Took a lot of heat from the press and I'm sure from his own organization. And he has come out determined to prove that Saturday was a fluke.
That was an offensive foul on Jason Kidd as he went to the basket. Hope to see that one again.
I think Gary Payton not only is of a mindset to put some numbers up on the board, but also to put the clamps on Jason Kidd.
Almost 4 minutes gone. Thomas almost threw it away. Cassell has it on the baseline. Can't hit the jumper. Jason Kidd the rebound. 3-on-3. Kittle blocked by the helping Thomas. Now the Bucks want to run. Pull-up jumper. Cassell hits, and the Bucks have the lead.
Now Sam Cassell loves to do that on the fast break, to get the defense to drop down and then to pull up and take that jump shot on the break. I thought on the last net break that Kidd gave the ball up a little bit too soon.
Kerry Kittles lost it on the way in, and they're going to say it's still Nets ball. It looked like it might have hit Kittles last.
Yeah, it did. It looked like it bounced off Kittles. Right here, great block by Tim Thomas. Kittles had to carry that ball in on a couple of dribbles for that break, and usually Jason Kidd times it so that he sets his man up so all he has to do is shoot the layup.
Miss on the open jumper for Richard Jefferson. The Bucks backcourt of Payton and Cassell have all of their points.
That doesn't surprise me.
No, it doesn't. It shouldn't.
Nice look.
And a foul as Desmond Mason went crashing down the lane.
And again, I think that's a terrific matchup. Richard Jefferson and Desmond Mason, two very similar type players, similar in size and similar in game. And I just love that matchup. Two very explosive, athletic players.
And our first look at Rodney Rogers coming into the lineup for the Nets. Well, they hoped he would be a six-man extraordinaire, as he has been in other stops in his NBA career, but it just hasn't worked out that way.
But
Not yet, anyway.
Yeah, he's starting to play a little bit better.
Turnaround jumper is good for Tim Thomas as he gets on the board. Bucks have their largest lead of the game, just 4.
It seems like this early in the game that the Bucks have come out certainly with more intensity, more focus, and more determined to get the ball inside.
And there he is, Rodney Rogers with the long 2. Hits his first shot. That could be a good sign for New Jersey.
Well, it could be a great matchup for New Jersey if Rodney Rogers were inclined to post up, because really the Bucks don't have anybody who can stay with him on a post up, but he loves that perimeter.
Tim Thomas misses on the drive. Prisbilla is there.
Well, when Thomas drove, the Nets had to cover up, and that left Prisbilla wide open.
Here comes Cassell. Off the miss. Oh, Thomas from deep in the corner. Martin up to Rodney Rogers. Rogers back to Martin for the hammer down.
Oh, that's terrific. Fast break without Jason Kidd being in the middle of it, which is rare. But it's contagious when you got a guy like Kidd distributing the ball. Everybody else looks for the open man, and that was a terrific execution. Both teams getting up and down, though. It's fun. It's a fun basketball game.
Nice post up there. Big size advantage for Tim Thomas over Jason Kidd. Back to a 4-point lead. Kittle's holding out high. Both teams shooting pretty well in the early going.
Well, when you run, you create easy scoring opportunities.
There's one down low. Kenyon Martin count the basket, and a foul. It's going to go against Desmond Mason. At 5:27 to play in the first quarter. The Bucks have come out much more competitive here in Game 2 than they did in Game number 1. But when we come back, Kenyon Martin will have a chance to pull the Nets within 1 at the line. unbelievable wheels. Todd Lundgren. Dvorak fishing through traffic. Back to Dvorak across the line, and he goes! Scores! What a move!
Sabonis, one of the great players in history of basketball.
Please, be careful. Jack, and it strips. Got it back. He's got all the Laker points this quarter. And a finger roll inside for O'Neal.
Tease him, big man. Tease him.
He's got... Paul Scallon controlling it well, as Ray mentioned. Centering pass, score! Jason Arnott, the recipient.
Tip-off window by Peterson. Nope. Kenyon Martin with 1 second left.
Jefferson from 35. Baker goal!
Right sideline! You've got to be kidding me! Richard Jefferson!
The NBA playoffs on ESPN. Which team will it be this year? Will the Lakers dominate the West yet again? Or will it be the Kings or the Mavericks? And who will represent the East? Will the Nets make a return? Or will Iverson lead the Sixers to the finals? No one covers the playoffs like ESPN. The NBA playoffs on ESPN. Magic, Pistons, Blazers, Mavericks. Live Saturday on ESPN.
We invite you to log on to ESPNDeportes.com or ESPN.com. Participate in tonight's poll question. Who do you think is the best sixth man in the NBA? Bobby Jackson of Sacramento? Maybe Utah's Andrei Kirilenko? Or perhaps Michael Redd of these Milwaukee Bucks? We haven't seen him yet, but we certainly should very quickly. Or Corliss Williamson, who was last year's winner, who had another good year for Detroit. Log on, click in, let us know, and we'll keep you updated throughout tonight's game.
All four of those guys are worthy of the award. I have my own personal favorite, but I don't want to influence the voters yet.
Okay, we'll wait till the returns are in.
Okay.
All precincts reporting. Meanwhile, the Bucks off to a much better start than they were in game number 1, where they got down 8-0, and then ended up getting down as many as 31 points. But right now they have a 2-point lead over the Nets. When we last left, Kenyon Martin was scoring and getting fouled, and he will have one free throw now as we come back with 5:27 to play in the first quarter. Tim Thomas had a huge night, but
a lot of those 25 points came in mop-up garbage time in the fourth quarter.
yes, 19 of his 25 came in that final frame, which early in that quarter they were down 31.
Yeah, but you know what? It obviously got George Karl's attention because George decided to start him tonight.
Yeah, they had problems finding guys who could put it in the hole, and that's one thing that Thomas did. He misses there, but Thomas does have 4 quick points here. Kenyon Martin running the break and fouled hard by Tim Thomas.
And that is a classic example of how to run the break by Jason Kidd. He didn't break stride, but he took a look to see who was flying down on the left wing, and it was Kenyon Martin, and he gave him a little look-away pass, and Kenyon Martin went in for the dunk, got challenged, and is at the free throw line. But from a point guard's perspective, you survey the floor, you see who's running with you, and if you've got a big man running, like a Kenyon Martin, you always try to give him the ball to reward him for running the floor.
And for a big man, he is lightning fast, and he just, like that one right there, he's going to try and dunk everything.
Well, and you know what? He knows that if he runs the floor, he's going to get rewarded. He's going to get the ball, so he continues to run the floor, which is what makes the Nets' fast break so effective.
And so fun to watch when they've got it going well. Tony Kukoc has the ball into the lineup for the Bucks off the bench. Brisbilla still playing at the center spot. Tim Thomas fires a 3, but it won't count the whistle before a foul away from the ball. It looks like they got Brisbilla again. It would be a second. It could have been Cassell, though.
Well, Sam's not happy about the call, to say the least.
And here is Michael Redd, and certainly he would be a leading contender for the six-man award.
Yeah, he's had a great year. I think he's averaging something like 15 points a game coming off the bench. He is the Bucks version in 2003 of the microwave. Vinnie Johnson of the champion Detroit Pistons in the late 80s, early 90s era. where Vinny would come off the bench shooting and scoring, and that's exactly what Michael Redd does for the Bucks.
And a foul on Rodney Rogers clearing out on the offensive end. That's his first. 4.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Redd's specialty, shooting the basketball, particularly from three, second in the league, 43%. This time he goes for the pull-up, and he gets the roll.
Well, you knew he wasn't going to pass up an open shot too many times. He knows where the basket is. Good ball movement that time by Milwaukee. They really swung it until they got the open man.
A great steal and pass from Kukoc, but Michael Redd could not get it to Gary Payton.
Not a strength of Michael Redd's.
Passing.
Right, passing. Tony Kukoc makes a great play here, comes over the top, saves it from going out of bounds, gets it to Michael Redd, but Michael is good on the finishing end of those plays, not the starting end, or the start.
Kenyon Martin, open from 15, won't go. Offensive rebound, Jason Collins takes the contact, and he will get 2 free throws.
Important for Jason Collins to be a presence on the boards. He was in game 1, scoring 13 points and 12 rebounds, and that was a major plus for New Jersey. We haven't heard much of him thus far in this game, and he needs to establish himself on the glass.
Those 13 points, 12 rebounds are playoff career highs, because just his second year. And his play has allowed them not to really rush Dikembe Mutombo back. He missed 56 games of the season. He had those torn ligaments in the right wrist, and really it's been a challenge for Byron Scott to try and find a way to get him back in the lineup. At this point, they basically played the whole season without him.
Right, and mainly because the Nets use their centers a lot in their offense as passers, and Mutombo is not a very good passer, and he's sort of out of his element, so it would have taken him the whole season really to fit in with this style of play, and he missed 56 games.
Turnaround jumper, nicely done. (20-19), the Bucks. It was an interesting acquisition, to be sure, in the offseason. Many wondered why. And, of course, perhaps if he did not get injured and had a chance to learn the system, it wouldn't be such a big deal. But trying to bring him back now before he ever learned the system has made it even tougher.
It's tough in the playoffs, and what they can use Mutombo for strictly is a presence in the lane defensively and to rebound. And if Jason Collins is performing as he did in game 1, he is essentially doing those things, doing the rebounding. He won't block the shots that Mutombo might, but he'll give the Nets more on the offensive end.
Some personal tragedy this week for Dikembe Mutombo. His 40-year-old brother back in his homeland of Zaire, now the Democratic Republic of Congo, died of a stroke at the age of only 40. So he's struggling with some other things as well.
This has been a tough year.
Yeah, it has.
It has been a tough year for Dikembe Mutombo.
Jason Kidd slipping along the baseline, but couldn't finish. Oh, Kmart can.
Now, rare to see Jason Kidd penetrate like that and miss the shot. But the Bucks come right back.
Roaring back, it's Gary Payton. Rodney Rogers pulled a string on that. Tough little leaner. He'll stay with New Jersey with 2:23 to play. First quarter. The Bucks giving the Nets all they could handle here. A big rebound from that embarrassment in game number 1. Kenyon Martin's come to play. As always, he's got 11 in the first quarter.
A little off toward the hole. Tejada has it. Long throw to first. And they get him. Outstanding play by Miguel Tejada. High fastball. And this time he hits it deep to center. And on the run, Randy Wynn runs it down.
Much more difficult to hit when it's 0-1 than when it's 3-1. Runners going. And it is lined to Helton.
to second. And this will come back down to first. And we have a triple play.
Fly ball deep into center field. Mike Cameron to the one he track, leaps up. Oh, and he makes the catch. Holy smokes, what a grab by Cammy. Slams to the center field wall.
Tune in for 2 classifications of pure adrenaline as the stars come out at Texas Stadium. The THQ World Supercross GP. Sunday on ESPN.
Join us tomorrow for your UEFA Champions League doubleheader. Game 1, Manchester United will try and fight back into contention after a 3-1 lashing in Madrid. Raul scored 2 goals. Figo had a beautiful strike to give Madrid the advantage. In Game 2, AC Milan and Ajax face off again after a thrilling 0-0 draw. Doesn't get any better than that. This time the Italian side hopes that the home crowd can ignite that lackluster offense. And right now, Kenyon Martin is igniting some Nets offense.
He certainly is. Got the whole package. And tonight, thus far, we've seen the inside Kenyon Martin, and I'm sure before the night is over, we will see the perimeter Kenyon Martin as well. But he is so athletic, and when he gets going on the boards, he is a handful. Tonight, he's got 11 points already, and everything has been in and around the basket.
4 rebounds as well. Here's Jason Kidd out front. Gary Payton guarding him.
Zone defense a little bit by the Bucks.
Lucius Harris inside to Collins. Back out to Kidd for the open 3. Jason Kidd.
Tough to run a zone against the Nets because they move the ball so well and they don't hesitate in giving it up and hitting the open man. And they shoot it pretty well from the perimeter. Kidd has improved in that area, and Lucius Harris right now is pretty good outside shooter.
4-point lead is their largest of the game. Matches that. We have a loose ball foul as Anthony Mason was working the offensive glass. Jason Collins can't believe that it's on him because he ended up on the floor.
Which is not unusual in a matchup against Anthony Mason. Now we see Mr. Mutombo, Mount Mutombo.
It's the first foul on Collins, so not a big problem for him.
Well, again, it's Byron Scott's way of integrating Mutombo into the game early, get him some minutes early.
Back cut there is an easy slam for Michael Redd.
Nice backdoor cut and pass. And he caught, I believe it was Lucius Harris, taking a little nap.
Rodney Rogers, quick touch pass inside for Mutombo. Mid-post, back out to Rogers, wants the 3. Rebound all the way out to Kukoc. Quickly up to Mason. Rogers guarding him. Rogers flops, no call. Fadeaway jumper for Redd. Rebound Mutombo. Get it to Kidd. That's the idea. What else do you need to know about the Nets offense, right?
Get it to Kidd and get up the floor.
A turnover on the break as Martin couldn't handle it. Byron Scott likes the idea, though.
Oh, it's a great philosophy, and it's a throwback philosophy because nobody runs anymore in the NBA.
Unfortunately, that's the case. Nice turnaround for Gary Payton, who's got 10.
He's had a solid outing thus far in this game to rebound from the dreadful outing he had Saturday in Game 1.
Yeah, he's got 10 first quarter points. He hasn't missed a shot, 5 for 5, after missing his first 8 through 44 minutes of Game 1. Nets will have another chance on a long rebound. 40 seconds left. Kidd looking for a 2-for-1 with that quick shot there.
Well, Rodney Rogers has missed a couple of outside shots, and I don't think Byron Scott will stay with him too long because that's the strength of Rodney Rogers' game. Gary
Payton set up Kukoc for the open 3. And now the Nets can use up the last of the clock here in the first quarter. That was the 2-for-1 with a quick shot off the offensive rebound for Kidd on the prior possession.
Well, the pace has been pretty good in this first quarter, and I think these guys are a little bit winded, to tell you the truth.
Oh, great spin on the baseline. Kidd gets it out to the corner. Harris, 3 at the buzzer, wouldn't go, and neither will the follow by Jason Kidd. So the first quarter in the books. And right now, if you are the Milwaukee Bucks, you're pretty happy with the way things have gone. The Nets have played it the way they want to. and you're still in this ball game. 26 apiece. Kenyon Martin, the scoring star for the Nets in the early going. Gary Payton leading the Bucks. This is NBA Playoff Tuesday on ESPN. The Bucks and Nets all tied up in Game 2, heading into the second.
Hello there. I keep posing the question, does Ronaldo fit with Real Madrid? No, I am not questioning his ability as a player. I know he's a great one. But Ronaldo, he looks a little bit overweight and out of shape. I know. Who am I to talk about being overweight? But could it be that Ronaldo has decided he's surrounded and wants to show off his individual skills? I don't see his style of play being complemented by his Madrid teammates. I feel Ronaldo needs to be on a team where he is the big star. In that situation, I think he has the skill and the ability to carry the team. Real have so many world-class superstars, it means Ronaldo is just another cog in a smooth-running wheel. This does not seem to fit well with a gap-toothed wonder. What do you think? I'm Tommy Smith with a Y.
Real Madrid. 100 years of history. 9 European Cup titles, 28 Spanish League titles, 17 Spanish Cup titles, FIFA Team of the 20th Century. Real Madrid, good enough to play in the world's best league. The UEFA Champions League on ESPN, by invitation only. It's one part adrenaline, the first drop of the puck to the Stanley Cup. Your hockey home all season long. The NHL on ESPN. If it happens in hockey, it happens on ESPN.
This week on ESPN, more from the quarterfinals of the UEFA Champions League on Thursday, with 2 more crucial matches from Leg 2. Then later, we bring you the International Beach Soccer Finals from Rio. Friday, the quest for the Stanley Cup continues with Game 1 of the conference semifinal. Saturday, catch a special doubleheader of the NBA playoffs. Great sports every day on ESPN this week.
Log on to ESPNSoccerNet.com for the most comprehensive information on the English Premier League. Get all the up-to-the-minute news and stories on the happenings in the Premiership. And follow your favourite clubs with in-depth analysis and acumen that the SoccerNet.com experts provide each and every day. You're one click away from fixtures, results, tables and stats. Everything you need to keep up with the English Premier League. Log on to ESPNSoccerNet.com today.
Ready to start the second quarter. Continental Airlines Arena in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where the Nets and Bucks are all tied up after one. Game 2 of this Eastern Conference first round playoff series. Mark Brown along with Rick Weitzman, as the Bucks, at least for a quarter, have answered some of the critics as to why they didn't show up in game number 1, or so it seemed. They are ready to play here in game number 2 as we take a look at some of the Nets off-the-ball defense.
Yeah, we're going to take a look here. The Bucks are on offense. Little pick. And coming off the pick. But here we're going to see Michael Redd put a monkey wrench into the New Jersey plans as he decides to go back door and not use the pick. And it catches the Nets sleeping. It's a great play because players in this league tend to anticipate. They know each other's plays so well, they tend to anticipate when a pick is set, so they cheat. And Michael Redd made the Nets pay that time.
Boy, the way Harris played that almost looked like he thought he had help or something. He overplayed it so much. Inside, Mutombo has it stripped away by the quick hands of the Bucks defense, and then thrown away as Irvin Johnson tried to get it to Redd, but it looked like the back of his elbow.
Yeah, and Michael Redd is angry, saying, get the ball to the point guard, Gary Payton, and my job is to run the floor. But you know what? His job is to look for the ball as well.
Rodney Rogers has it on top.
You know, that looked like a pretty good pass from Rogers to Mutombo, but you got to realize who you're passing the ball to, and the pass was down low, and you're asking Mutombo to catch a pass like that in a crowd down around his waist, and that's tough. That's tough for a big guy to do.
Yeah, and notorious for his problems with the hands.
You're not saying he has concrete for fingers, are you?
Pretty much. Defensive 3-second call, looks like. Yes, it is. Game 1, he missed his first 7 field goal attempts through 3 quarters. Tonight, he's made his first 5 and has played exceedingly well. 3 assists to go along with those 10 points.
Yeah, he has, and he's shown some leadership, and he's saying to Irvin Johnson right now, find me. When you get a rebound, find me. I lead the break on this team.
And right now, though the game is very competitive, statistically, he's outplaying Jason Kidd, not to the degree that Kidd outplayed him in game 1, but Kidd just 3 points and 3 assists. And now a loose ball foul here against the Nets. So the Bucks will keep it. Looks like they got Mutombo.
Well, Payton thought he was originally fouled on that drive by Mutombo. No call. At least Milwaukee gets the ball back.
Payton's got it against Kiddo. Quick pass inside. Red cannot hit.
And Red again went back door and was open.
Lucius Harris, corner to Richard Jefferson. Back in with the 6 points, but 2 fouls. Takes the baseline. Oh, great help defense by Irvin Johnson, and he forces the tie-up situation, so they'll jump it up.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Irvin Johnson did exactly what he was supposed to do on that play when Richard Jefferson drove baseline. His job is to come down and seal the baseline and potentially block the shot, and he did a great job at it.
And Johnson gets the tip, as you would expect. Desmond Mason up the right side. Gives to Kukoc to the free throw line. Now Mason back to Kukoc. The two have been playing catch. Now it's Irvin Johnson on the baseline. Nets will give him that one all day. Rebound Mutombo. Here comes Kidd. Jefferson. Oh, somehow he got it in over Irvin Johnson. Johnson, I think, got a piece of it.
Well, pretty good decision by Jason Kidd that time. Under control, took his time, searched out the man he wanted to give the ball to, and Richard Jefferson delivered.
Kukoc wants to post up on Kidd. Looking to back him down. Goes to the fadeaway. Kukoc got it.
Tough shot, and that's the kind of shot that if Jason Kidd is being posted, that's the kind of shot he wants to give up. The Nets have done a terrific job defensively, swarming in the paint and sealing the middle since that early barrage by Gary Payton driving the paint.
Harris hits the baseline, pull up his first field goal. And a seesaw battle here in the second quarter. Nice spin from Payton in the lane. Hits the turnaround. Everything going for Payton. He's 6 for 6.
Well, if the pace of this game continues as it has, both benches are going to be put to the test, and we'll see which bench really responds.
Sam Cassell's been on the bench with 2 fouls, and Gary Payton has really taken this over for the Bucks. Down low for Mutombo for New Jersey. Mutombo looking for a shot, finds the cutting Rogers, who slams it down. Dikembe Mutombo, not known for his passing, but he did the right thing there.
Absolutely, and the Bucks just fell completely asleep on that. They stood and watched Mutombo with the ball and didn't close the middle, and Rodney Rogers just cruised down the lane.
Forcing it up inside in traffic, Tony Kukoc, and he was fouled, so Kukoc will have some free throws when we come back. 8:50 to play in the first half in a seesaw affair, as Gary Payton has been perfect from the field. His 12 points leads Milwaukee as they are trying to even this series against the Nets.
They came out of nowhere. They were the underdogs. No one thought they could win. And they didn't. But the world sure loved them for trying.
ESPN harnesses the spirit of freedom. The spirit of competition.
Shoot down! Shoot down! Go between them, please. Go between them. Shoot down.
The spirit of teamwork.
This is going to be the cross for the money. All of these crosses.
The spirit of yachting on ESPN.
ESPN continues coverage of the UEFA Champions League with the second leg of the quarterfinal round. 2 games today. Barcelona can move on to the semifinals with a victory at home in Nou Camp when they battle Juventus. Then, Valencia is behind a goal when they face the high-powered offense of Inter Milan. A berth in the semifinals is on the line. The UEFA Champions League on ESPN.
With a range of products from cards to financial services, American Express can help you to live your life the way you want.
The NBA playoffs continue here on ESPN Friday night. A doubleheader of action beginning with the Game 3 of this East Series between the Pistons and the Magic. Right now, the Magic have the 1-0 lead. That'll be followed by the Dallas Mavericks at the Portland Trailblazers. Game 3 of that series. Right now, Dallas up 1-0 thanks to 46 by Dirk Nowitzki. Fantastic showing for him. And speaking of fantastic showings, you saw Bill Russell a quick glimpse there, and he had more than a few fantastic showings in his 11 championship seasons.
The greatest winner in the history of the NBA. 11 titles with the Boston Celtics in his 13-year playing career. And on top of that, 2 championships at University of San Francisco and an Olympic gold medal. Kind of hard to beat that, Mark.
Yeah, I don't know that anybody's gonna. You think about a guy who is synonymous with championships like Michael Jordan, he had 6.
Nobody will approach what
and
Bill
one
Russell.
NCAA title, lest we not forget. And an Olympic title.
Nobody will approach what Bill Russell did.
No.
As far as winning.
Tony Kukoc, it's free throw. Both on that trip, and Milwaukee has the lead back. The Tumbo out front, little handle, showing the ball skills.
Not much. Rodney Rogers getting a lot of play in this game so far.
He draws a foul on Irvin Johnson. He's been aggressive since coming in.
That was outside shot, not falling. So the last couple of times he's gone to the basket, and he has been rewarded.
You gotta like that instinct. He's a former 6th Man of the Year award winner with Phoenix a number of years ago.
Not that many years ago. Maybe a couple.
To check that. We'll have that information quickly. The left-hander out of Wake Forest. And lots of lead changes in this one. Nets are back on top by 1.
Well, Milwaukee's pride was severely damaged after game 1, and they have come out ready to play basketball tonight, and they have given New Jersey all that they can handle so far.
Well, Sam Cassell was forced to take a little break with the 2 fouls, a little longer break than he wanted, but he comes right back out, picks up where he left off. He's 3 for 4 from the field. Mutombo hands it to Richard Jefferson. Jefferson off the fake, step through, off glass, tough shot, but he gets it to go. Richard Jefferson's got 10.
Yeah, that was a tough shot. Because Irvin Johnson had come over, and Irvin Johnson is a pretty good shot blocker, and he was there in position. New Jersey's got to do a better job on that little pick and roll. Milwaukee set a very simple pick, and nobody reacted from New Jersey and left Sam Cassell with a wide open 16-foot jump shot.
Gary Kittles gets it to the corner. Now it is Mutombo. Hands to Kittles. Jefferson off the fake. Kicks it all the way across. Harris can't hit the 3.
And Milwaukee's doing a much better job on the defensive boards than they had done on Saturday.
Rebound Mutombo. Have that information for you on Rodney Rogers. 4 seasons ago.
Not that many years ago.
The 99-2000 season.
That's not that long ago.
Or 3 seasons. 3 to 4 seasons ago, depending on how you want to look at it. Mutombo, meanwhile, with the left hand rolling hook. First basket of the game. Tony Kukoc backing down. Fakes up. Good defense by Jefferson. Thomas back in the game. Wants to work against Rogers. Takes it high off glass over Mutombo.
Well, we're seeing players on both teams really making an effort to take the ball to the basket in spite of shot blockers in the vicinity.
Well, they tried the back door there, but telegraphed. Kukoc knocked it away.
Telegraph for sure. Rodney Rogers, not the best passer in the world, and he let the world know that he was going to try to make a bounce pass.
Samuel Morse couldn't have done it better himself.
Or Marconi, right?
It's the radio, right?
Whatever. That's too many years ago.
It's not sports. Perhaps we should stick to what we know.
Exactly.
On the top, Kenyon Martin. 6 on the shot clock. Floating and hitting nothing. Halfway through the second quarter, Tim Thomas brings it up for the Bucks. Hands to Cassell. Cassell wants the screen. That's it, kind of, from Thomas. Now Tim Thomas in a post-up against Jefferson. Down low, shakes to the baseline, and hits the turnaround.
Tim Thomas has been very, very active tonight. There are an awful lot of games when Tim Thomas just disappears on the floor and you don't know he's out there. Tonight, he has been a force.
5:35 to play in the second quarter. And finally, somebody's got a 3-point lead. It's the Bucks, courtesy of this Timmy Thomas turnaround.
The NBA playoffs on ESPN. Which team will it be this year? Will the Lakers dominate the West yet again? Or will it be the Kings or the Mavericks? And who will represent the East? Will the Nets make a return? Or will Iverson lead the Sixers to the finals? No one covers the playoffs like ESPN. The NBA playoffs on ESPN. Magic, Pistons, Blazers, Mavericks. Live Saturday on ESPN.
It's 1 part adrenaline, 2 parts skill, and all the speed you can handle. The NHL on ESPN. From the first drop of the puck to the Stanley Cup. Your hockey home all season long. The NHL on ESPN. If it happens in hockey, it happens on ESPN.
Just another reminder, log on to ESPNdeportes.com. That if you understand Spanish, or ESPN.com for the rest of us. And let us know who you think should be the 6th-man award winner this year. Maybe Bobby Jackson, who did such a great job early in the season for Sacramento before Mike Bibby came back from injury. Then Andre Kirilenko of the Jazz. Michael Redd, whose skills are on display tonight for the Bucks. Or Corliss Williamson, last year's winner with Detroit. And Rick is still holding his pick close.
I didn't think you were ready for my answer yet.
No, we're not. We'll wait till the results come in.
Oh, and then I pick after the results are in?
Well, they may not be the right results. You may need to correct them. Look at Jeremy Shockey, the Pro Bowl Giants tight end. Spectacular rookie season. And Rapper Jarul. David
and
Stern.
Mr. Commissioner.
Which doesn't belong and why? With that threesome. What do they all have in common? They love the NBA.
And
outside of that?
And the basketball being played here at Continental Arena.
Jason Kidd out of the timeout. Hits from on top. Back to a 1-point game. Bodies flying. And a foul against New Jersey. Cassell gets up laughing.
Now that should go against Kenyon Martin.
Yes.
And anytime a little guy sets a pick on a big guy, it is the big guy's duty to make the little guy pay. And that's exactly what Kenyon Martin did, sending a message to Sam Cassell, do not set another pick on me, ever.
And it's even nicer when you have no fouls here. You just don't even have to worry about it. Just drill him.
He did.
And then drilling from the corner. Desmond Mason finally on the board. Long 2. 3-point lead for Milwaukee. Kerry Kittles gives to Martin. Quick ball movement as usual by the Nets. Pull up baseline jump. Won't go for Jefferson. Rebound. Anthony Mason. And then quickly up. Desmond Mason. 1-on-5. And taken away for a jump ball? No, they're going to call a foul. Desmond Mason should not have taken that ball.
Yeah, but he's electric. He's so quick. Goes baseline and goes up strong.
That's clean, Rick.
It looked clean from this angle, but we only saw one angle.
I've seen all I need. That's a nice defensive play. Collins, just his second season. And, of course, it was a great aggressive take by Desmond Mason.
Maybe not the smartest, but a really, he wound up with free throws. So.
And got nothing.
Well, I was about to say before that, though, that the Milwaukee Bucks really doing a good job on the defensive glass.
Nice leaner bank shot for Kerry Kittles. He's finally on the board.
The pace has slowed. The Bucks don't seem to want to run as they did in the first quarter with the Nets. The Nets will continue to look for the break as long as Jason Kidd is on the floor.
And Nets like to do that for 48 minutes. Bucks,
about 4 minutes.
They got tired of it pretty early. Kidd looking for opportunities. Into the lane. Left hand. Drew the whistle. 2 free throws coming for Jason Kidd.
Well, you hit it. He was looking for an opportunity, looking for a seam, looking for a way to get into the paint. Once he got into the paint, he realized it was too congested and there were no passing options, so he took it up strong himself.
Kukoc back in, will guard Jason Collins.
A lot of playoff experience for these Milwaukee Bucks, and Kukoc has an awful lot of it in his years with the Chicago Bulls.
Quick move to the baseline. Jason Collins looking for his offense. Loves the matchup against Tony Kukoc.
Now, Kukoc has never been known for his defense. And Jason Collins decided to take him right to the basket.
3:40 to play.
Non-shooting foul, though, on that.
Interesting. So the Nets will take it in on the side. Byron Scott in his 3rd season, 2nd full season. Down low. Collins again. Double team. Now he's got a single, but he's given up the dribble. Kittles.
Much better
Martin.
defense. Ooh. Quick. Much better defense, though, by Milwaukee.
That was as hard as some of his dunks. Gary Payton gives to Kukoc. Fakes the 3. Steps to the basket and lays it in.
Interesting lineup that Milwaukee is employing here, with Kukoc functioning essentially as their center along with Anthony Mason. Small front court.
Yep, I guess they figure Collins isn't going to hurt him too much.
You're probably right.
Kittles lost it in the lane. Here comes Payton. No numbers. Oh, great job by Kerry Kittles coming up from behind.
Did not give up on the play, got back in it, and slapped the ball loose.
Kidd down low. Martin had to kick out of the double. Not close on the Jefferson 3.
1 and out for New Jersey. The Bucks are handling. Oh, nice touch pass from Kukoc to Mason.
And then the foul inside as Mason was fouled before he could go up. Looked like they got Jason Collins on that one. So Tony Kukoc showing some of those skills with the touch pass and also the finger roll. Unbelievable reels, Don Martin. Dvorak fishing through traffic. Larry Dvorak across the line, and he goes! Scores!
Another one of the great players in history that lead. Be careful.
Jack, and it strips. Got it back. He's got all the Laker points this quarter. And a finger roll inside for O'Neal.
Tease him, big man. Tease him.
Scallon controlling it well, as Ray mentioned. Center, that's Jason Arnott, the recipient.
Tip-off window by Peterson. Nope. Kenyon Martin with 1 second left. Jefferson from 35. Baker goal! Right sideline! You've got to be kidding me! Richard Jefferson!
The champions of the world on ESPN. The NBA Finals conclude with the Lakers going for their 4th title in a row. The NHL battles for the Stanley Cup. And Tiger Woods defends his crown at the U.S. Open. The champions of the world on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
The football world is on ESPN's Press Pass. Only Press Pass will offer you the best coverage of all the news and controversies in the football universe. Press Pass.
Well, back on Saturday, this comparison, Game 1, Peyton and Kidd, was a complete reversal.
Yeah, it is. Gary Payton, with an awful lot of pride and a lot of years on his resume, has decided to come out and prove that Saturday was a fluke. And he is doing that. He is having a terrific game, 6 for 7 from the floor, matching Jason Kidd in assists with 4. He's got 12 points. Gary Payton has come to play tonight.
And Mr. Payton, along with Sam Cassell and Jason Cappy, have had some legal problems that have come to light in the last couple of days that some feel has been a distraction for the Bucks. The 3 of them were charged with misdemeanor assault around an April 11th fight outside a Toronto establishment. Let's just put it that way. And they made their court appearance. Wow.
Anthony Mason has never been a good free throw shooter. And you see why. You saw why right there. Terrible form, terrible mechanics.
Yep. He has made a number of changes over the years, and it's resulted in ugly shots and ugly results oftentimes.
Kittles was too wide open on that. He had more time. He should have taken a little bit more time and set himself.
Turnaround jumper from Sam Cassell. The guards for the Bucks are shooting extremely well. Cassell 5 of 7, Payton 6 of 7.
Well, there's no question that Cassell and Payton are the leaders of this Buck team. There's a great backdoor. The kid can't finish.
And both he and Jefferson diving across the baseline can't come up with it either. So a 5-point lead. This on the pull-up. Milwaukee's largest lead of the game, but Kidd 2 on 3. Gets it to Aaron Williams into the game, and he lays it in. Even when it looks like there's no numbers, Kidd gets fast break opportunities somehow.
He's just under control. He sees the great players. The game is in slow motion, vision-wise. And that's exactly what happens with Jason Kidd. He waits for the play to develop.
Kukoc straight down the lane and slams it home. No finger roll this time.
Whoa, is that the Tony Kukoc that we've seen in this league for a long time?
Not the one I know.
Wow, he usually just settles for that pull-up jump shot. Not this time.
Richard Jefferson going hard. Offensive foul. Desmond Mason stepped in to draw the charge.
Desmond Mason is a terrific defensive player, underrated, but he really gets after it defensively. Richard Jefferson, you see him drop the right shoulder into Desmond Mason, contact, offensive foul. When you drop that shoulder and dig it into the defensive player, the call's going to go against you.
Under a minute to play. Milwaukee tying their largest lead of the game right now with 5. Kukoc at the high post. Payton left all alone from 17. Too easy, I guess. Kidd bringing it up. Peyton on him. Goes for the shot and hits. And they'll have another 2-for-1 situation. 33 seconds left in the quarter. It's a three.
Gary Payton was looking around to see where Jason Kidd was going to penetrate to or who he was going to pass to, and forgot about the three-point shot that Jason Kidd has in his arsenal.
Here's Kukos. Has to swing it out. Thomas, pull up. Rebound Kittles. 14 seconds left. An eternity for Kidd and the Nets. Down by 2. Final seconds of the half. Takes it in. Lead for Aaron Williams for the throwdown with 5.7 left. We're tied.
Oh, was that a terrific play? He deked Peyton, got Peyton off balance, got by him, cruised the lane, and waited till he found an open Aaron Williams. What a great play. Here he gets by Peyton, and that sets it up. Cruises the lane, goes up, finds Aaron Williams, little dish down, dunk.
Peyton will try to get the last word. Knocked away, and time expires to end the second quarter. The crowd on its feet. They love the way the Nets finish this one off. Coming up on the NBA Halftime Report, Christine Lisi will be along with SportsCenter in-game. Wait for Champions League action, Barcelona and Juventus.
Welcome back to New Jersey. The Nets and the Bucks are tied at 49 in Game 2 of this best of 7. Marv Albert with the czar, Mike Fratello and D. Lynham. What a difference from what we saw in Game 1 here on Saturday. The Bucks not allowing the Nets to run. Milwaukee preventing New Jersey from running by committing only 5 turnovers. 2 of them were offensive fouls.
It's known as flow. Run. It's flow. Write that down. So, yeah, because in game number 1 for Milwaukee, they had 17 turnovers, which resulted in 18 points for New Jersey in transition. Right now, as a result of the turnovers, just 4 points for New Jersey. A big key to the game.
Do you have enough space here at the desk?
A lot of space. Feels good. Our little buddy's gone.
All right. Our little buddy. All right, let's take a look at our little buddy, the Jeep game summary.
The big thing that jumps out at you here is Milwaukee shooting 56%, but in game number 1 from the three-point line, the Bucks were 10 for 17, Mark, 0 for 5 right now at halftime. And you see New Jersey 49% from the floor, which is good, but the transition opportunities are not nearly the same as they were in game number 1. The tempo has been completely different, and as a result, Milwaukee's been able to junk up their defenses a little bit, playing a lot of the zone or combination rather than trying to run back in transition all the time.
It's been the flow czar.
Thank you.
Let's check in with D. Lynham.
Mark, Byron Scott saying that his team needs to do a better job in terms of switching on the pick and roll. He thinks the Milwaukee Bucks are playing great transition D, but he's happy with the fact that they were deadlocked. And Milwaukee's playing such a great game. George Karl saying he got a great effort out of Tim Thomas. He thinks it really helped his confidence. He thought they did a good job in terms of controlling the tempo, not allowing those transition baskets. And we'd like to see if you could get a Michael Redd playing the way Tim Thomas did in that first half.
R.G. Thomas is 5 for 9 from the field, 10 points. Payton off the mark. Bucks 23 of 41, 56% shooting. The Nets at 19 of 39, just under 49%. That will add to it. Jason Kidd showing some signs. Came on in that final minute of the first half.
Well, what is Joel Perzilla doing? He's back there to rebound the basketball and protect the basket. He never even jumped and tried to block Jason Kidd's layup attempt.
Thomas met by Martin. They clear it out for Thomas, who goes baseline and is fouled by Collins.
When you see Thomas facing up on Martin, putting the ball on the floor and go buying him, and then taking the contact, no easy layups come playoff time, takes the hit, goes to the line, 2 free throw attempts coming up. Thomas hitting the nose a little bit, trying to get himself back together there at the foul line. But this is a very aggressive Tim Thomas tonight, mixing up his post-up game, his jump shot game, and his ability to put it on the floor and drive it to the basket.
And it's been a different story for Jason Collins, who just picked up his 4th foul coming off a strong game on Saturday. 22nd timeout is taken by the Bucks with Thomas shaken up.
See if we can see exactly where the contact takes place. As he starts to go up, right there you see the elbow hit him across the face that time as the foul is called on Collins.
Byron Scott staying with Jason Collins despite the 4 personals. Dikembe Mutombo played 8 minutes in the first half. Did a good job, hit his only shot, had 4 rebounds, 2 assists.
I think he's actually going to rethink that and go in a different direction. I would expect to see Aaron Williams, who's up at the scorer's table right now, come in. This way he can keep Williams in the minutes that Collins would be playing and then bring Mutombo back in what he would call his normal rotation.
Reminder coming up next here on TNT, it's the Lakers and the Timberwolves in Game 2 tomorrow night at 7 on TNT. The Hornets and the Sixers. Allen Iverson coming off that 55-point explosion on Sunday night. Also tomorrow night, it's the Trailblazers and the Mavericks. And tomorrow on NBA TV at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, the Magic and the Pistons. Pistons trying to even that series at 1. As you mentioned, Czar, Aaron Williams has come on for Jason Collins. Here's a backdoor pass intended for Kenyon Martin, and the ball goes back to Milwaukee.
Just a little move by Cassell. He stepped down on the baseline. He put his body into Kenyon Martin, and it totally disrupted the backdoor lob pass attempt. And by the way, while you're mentioning it tomorrow, we are in Philly, Mark. You show up in the right city.
You know, I'm glad you pointed that out.
Just a little something I wanted to help you with.
It's the New Orleans Hornets and the Philadelphia 76ers. Game 2 tomorrow night.
Both teams will be looking for you again at shoot-around in the morning.
Mason spinning his way and called for the traveling violation. So the ball back to the Nets. Jefferson played by Mason. Now Martin goes at Przbilla and draws the foul. Joel Przbilla in the starting lineup tonight, defending on Kenyon Martin, and picks up his 2nd.
Joel, you got to put those arms up straight, not bring him over the top and hit him. You got to jump a little bit once in a while to try and block the shot. You got size, you got a pretty good body, and then you got to use it out there. Just don't stand around and let guys take advantage of you.
Kenyon Martin, a 65% free throw shooter. Nets are now 10 for 10 at the line. And you see the Bucks with 5 missed free throws. Nets by 2, 2 minutes gone by in the third. Cassell and Payton at the guards. And they throw it away. Off the turnover. Here comes Kittle. Martin. And again draws the foul. Trying to squeeze his way through, looking to split between a couple of defenders, and Prisbilla is charged with his third.
As you see the Nets go right after what they feel is a big mismatch in their favor. Down low, Martin strong enough to hold his own against Prisbilla. That time Martin stepped out, faced up, made Prisbilla move his feet, pick up the foul.
Kind of let's go Nets here at the Meadowlands. And this time an offensive foul.
High pick and roll that time. Kidd trying to run Payton into the screen. Screen being set by Aaron Williams. We'll see if he steps out a little bit. Late stepped out. There's the contact. Foul is called.
Aaron Williams called on his first. Now Payton backing his way on Kidd. Lost control. Payton on the recovery. Gary Payton, 7 of 11, 14 points. Things have slowed down here at the start of the third quarter. Again, a foul on the Bucks. Foul on Thomas.
You see Payton working to get free. Loses control of the ball, but it comes right back to him. Turns. Makes it look easy for the foul line.
Here's Kidd getting the step. Jefferson. And again a foul. Team foul number 4 committed by the Bucks. Joe Prisbilla is going to foul himself out here in the third quarter. That's number 4. 3 of the 4 within a 2-minute span of this third quarter.
Well, you can see how hard these players are going to the basket off the dribble. I mean, they go in there understanding there's probably going to be contact when you get around the rim area, so they are prepared to take the initial blow.
So the Bucks' next foul will put them over the limit, and we have 9 minutes remaining in the third.
It's one of the things you look at. How many minutes is your opponent in the bonus shooting those extra free throws during the course of the game? The idea is to play great defense as Payton hits a most difficult shot falling away. Play good defense without putting your opponent on the free throw line for extra free throw attempts.
Well, Gary Payton said he would come back strong here tonight, and he has. That was last touch by the Nets.
Well, Payton was even fouled, looked like a little bit as he starts right there. The bump by Kidd very easily could have been called a foul. Instead, it's a hoop.
We talked about it at the start of the telecast, and the guys discussed it in the studio at halftime. As Thomas not able to get the roll, rebounded by Williams. Here comes Kidd following the game on Saturday. Peyton Cassell and Jason Caffey flying to Toronto, Canada to surrender to police the result of that investigation into an alleged assault. Here's Cassell from downtown. The incident taking place outside of a strip club back on April 11th. The players charged with assault spent a couple of hours at a police station. They will have to return to Toronto to appear in court at the end of May, and the questions were asked following that poor Game 1 performance by Payton and his teammates. Kittles not able to hit. Martin puts him down. The question was asked, was it a distraction? George Carl felt it was, or was it just a poor performance by the Bucks?
Well, I'm not really sure how many of the other players on the team. We see the strip by Kittles, the ball goes off Cassell's leg, Nets ball. Not really sure how many of the other players on the Bucks team actually knew what was going on, that those guys were going to get on a plane after the game and fly up there. But the fact that your starting backcourt knew it certainly had to be bothering them, knowing that they had to go up there and surrender, and who knows what's going to happen from there.
Jason Kidd knocks down his third from downtown, and the Nets now lead at 59-57. Well, Kidd starting slowly, but has come on. Cassell for 3. Sam Cassell from downtown. Sam has 16. The Bucks lead by 1.
And Sam is one of those players that when he gets it going, he can put 15 to 20 points on the board in the quarter. He gets on roll sometimes, has such a sweet shot. He feels it right now, as you mentioned. 7 for 9 shooting from Sam, 8 for 12 from Peyton. That's 15 for 21 for the starting backcourt.
Kittle's called on that foul. The ball back to Milwaukee. Joel Frisbilla will take a seat. Here's Tony Kukoc checking in. Tony hit 3 of 4 from the field in 15 minutes of play in the first half. So Thomas with Kukoc and Mason up front. Here's Thomas. Rebounded by Williams. And again, the Bucks get back. Martin working on Thomas. Kukoc over to help. Shot clock for 6. And that's a charge. Offensive foul on Richard Jefferson. That's 4 on Jefferson.
Well, we see Sam Cassell really accept the challenge of playing the bigger and stronger Richard Jefferson. He sticks his nose there, anticipates he's coming back middle, takes the blow, and then at the end tries to protect himself as Jefferson almost comes down on top of him.
How about 6 offensive fouls on the Nets tonight? It's a high number.
Milwaukee making a commitment here to try and pick up more ball possessions by forcing those kinds of ball exchanges. Step in, take the charge, get the ball back.
Rodney Rogers back on the floor. Thomas for 3. And Aaron Williams controlling the board. Kidd with the spin. Gets it to Williams, who stripped Kidd with the quick hands, able to get it back. And finds Williams. That was a sensational sequence by Jason Kidd.
And because of his competitive nature, he was not going to be denied of coming up with that basketball and finding an open teammate.
7 assists for Kidd, Nets by 1. 5:20 to go on the third. Kukoc. Beautiful pass, and Desmond Mason converts.
Great job of catching the basketball first, and then under control, up in the air, being able to convert it off the backboard. That is a very athletic play.
Desmond Mason, one of the great leapers in the NBA. There's Cassell pulling away. 4-on-2 for Milwaukee. Peyton for Thomas. He's fouled from behind by Martin.
Mark, the game is getting very physical right now, Mark. The players are starting to have things to say to one another. The officials right now trying to break up this little confrontation. That's because, in my opinion, over the last 3 minutes, 4 minutes, they have let a lot of things go by that could very easily have been called fouls.
There we were planning our vacation online. That's when the pain started.
Digititis is a repetitive stress injury, just like carpal tunnel syndrome, except different.
Basically, it feels like a fleshy fireball on the end of my hand.
We're seeing an explosion of this with all the double clicking that's going on. If we catch this early, we can help.
Searching for a great airfare online doesn't have to be a pain. Just go to southwest.com for our $39 to $99 internet specials when you purchase by May 1st.
You're now free to move about the country.
Oh yeah, summertime, flip-flop, small top, party bumper non-stop. So much ice in my cooler, you think I was a jeweler. Bling, catching rays, making plays. Summer got more zap than a microwave. Ding, blue eyes, green eyes, brown eyes too. All the honeys checking who? The king of Malibu.
The silver bizzle. I had lotion on my hands. I burn easily.
I've got you under my skin. I have got you deep in the heart of me. And each time I do, just the thought of you makes me stop just before I begin. Because I've got you under my skin.
The NBA playoffs on TNT. Brought to you by Hyundai. Your car comes with America's best warranty. You win. And Armor All. Doesn't just clean and shine, it protects.
who won't stop is back.
You're the great Sam Gerard.
Yes, I am.
And you always have to win.
Yes, I do. Tommy Lee Jones, Wesley Snipes, U.S. Marshal. Friday at 9 on TNT.
It's very special for me. I mean, I started playing basketball when I was 9 here in the state of New Jersey. And, you know, I have a lot of nephews and nieces now that's, you know, coming up and trying to, you know, present themselves. So, I mean, it's very special for me to be playing here and to play in front of them so as though they can see what big-time basketball is all about.
15 He's connected to his Patterson, New Jersey basketball roots by sponsoring an AAU team called the Tim Thomas Players. They are coached by his former high school coach and second cousin. He donates $20,000 to $30,000 a year to pay for the team's expenses, and he says it's because he had such a great AAU experience when he played alongside Kobe Bryant and Vince Carter back in '94. Mark, basically he calls himself the George Steinbrenner of that Tim Thomas Players team.
Well, Tim Thomas, a guy who has added to his game over the summer, worked with four-time All-Star Bernard King. Bernard worked on low post moves, footwork, positioning. King, a one-time teammate of Bucks general manager Ernie Grunfeld with the New York Knicks and Tennessee. The Bernie and Ernie show had a pretty good run. Here's Aaron Williams. And rebounded by Tony Kukoc. Bucks 62, the Nets 61. Tim Thomas able to finish. So Thomas with 13 points. And there's Ernie Grunfeld, GM of the Bucks, and who pulled off the Gary Payton, Ray Allen, Desmond Mason deal. Jason Kidd thought he was fouled, a late whistle. Foul called on Gary Payton.
Well, I don't agree with that call. I think that you should be allowed as a defensive player to come up and down. Jason Kidd jumps into the defensive man's space. Watch, fake, and now he jumps over to his right to draw the contact. That's not his shot. That's not what was affected by that. That should have been a no call. If Jason Kidd wants to jump all the way to his right to jump into the defensive man, I don't think you should reward him with 3 free throws.
Kidd an 84% free throw shooter.
What you're basically doing is bailing out a guy who's taking a terrible shot just to try and initiate contact. If you are in his space, that's one thing. But if he's jumping a foot and a half over to his right just to jump into a guy who has challenged the shot and is going by him, I don't agree with that call.
And it's a 3 free throw scenario because he was fouled beyond that three-point line. Nets are now 14 of 16 at the line, while the Bucks suffering only 4 of 11. Here's Kukoc, and he draws the foul for the Nets, their 13th foul. Bucks have been over the limit seemingly once this third quarter got underway. Foul on Williams, that's his second. Milwaukee has missed 7 of their last 8 at the line.
So the decision there was Kukoc getting ready to pass that ball off, throw it backwards, or was he trying to actually shoot the ball? And that's what Byron Scott went over and asked the official. He doesn't feel Kukoc had any intention of shooting that basketball.
Kukoc a 71% free throw shooter. And the problems at the line continue.
Take a look right here. Was Kukoc going to, yes, he was going to drop that thing back off, hoping that his teammates would spot up near the top of the circle. So Kukoc awarded the free throws. I don't think he had the shot in mind.
Now the Bucks on the season are 78% at the line. That's a pretty good free throw shooting team, but they have suffered here tonight. Bucks by 2. Kidd for Martin. Kenny Martin working hard for that bucket, and he's tied the game.
Just ripped the ball away from the Milwaukee players. They figures out tough them for it.
16 points for Martin. Kukoc for 3. Rebounded by Rogers. And you can see the Bucks getting back. Here's Kidd for Williams, broken up by Thomas. Now Anthony Mason checks back in. And he replaces Desmond Mason.
Well, remember we said that in game number 1, Milwaukee shot 59% from the three-point line. Right now, and that goes along with the fact that they were, as Aaron Williams hits the turnaround, they were the number 1 team in the NBA in three-point field goal percentage. So that's abnormal. Right now, what's happening is very abnormal. 2 for 9 from the floor from the three-point line for Milwaukee.
Nets have a 2-point lead. Anthony Mason has been very quiet. That's his first field goal. Anthony Mason has not been a good fit with the Bucks. What he was getting to play time, at times he's dominated the ball, slowing the pace. Teammates would get frustrated. And he has been coming off the bench. Williams, Kukoc got a piece. And Kukoc leads the break, but the Nets get back. Kukoc floats it to Payton. Beautiful play.
It's almost, as you said, Mark, Anthony Mason almost isn't involved in the game. You don't notice that he's out there anymore. He always was a presence, whether he was handling the basketball, distributing it, getting down the low post area to try and throw double teams, or being the defensive stopper that he can be. Not as involved anymore.
Kukoc with the rebound. Payton able to chase it down. Payton. And here comes Harris.
There's that wild style I told you about from Milwaukee.
Now the Nets setting up. The shot clock is down to 5. Harris. Game is tied at 69 as we approach 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. Certainly a different story from what took place here on Saturday. In game 1, it was a rout by the Nets. They led by as many as 31. They killed the Bucks off the boards. Thomas, and it's deflected and carried out of bounds. Last touch by the Nets.
You know, Mark, just seemed like Cassell was starting to heat up. He hits those 2 big shots. Then we'll see him touch the ball again. This time we see Tony Kukoc, the lead pass, catch in the air and finish by Payton.
Welcome aboard. Please turn off all unapproved electronic devices. We have a very crowded flight today, and all overhead space is full. The captain expects frequent turbulence, so please remain seated at all times. And we do anticipate a late arrival. Thank you.
The Hyundai Santa Fe, with America's best warranty. 10 years, 100,000 miles. When you upgrade your travel plans, you win.
From early mornings to late nights, from the store around the corner to business around the country, your whole family can count on the best wireless network in the nation, Verizon Wireless. Get the America's Choice National Family Share Plan and share unlimited night and weekend minutes on up to 4 separate lines. Hurry and buy 1 Motorola phone for $29.99 and get a second free. Plus, now get unlimited text messaging for only $2.99 monthly access. So no one's ever out of the loop. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Friday, May 2nd, martial arts greatest battle begins. 8 men enter, 1 man survives. Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View presents K1 Enter the Beast. K1's top North American fighter, Michael McDonald, legendary 6-time world champion Rick Rufus, and Kung Fu superstar Kung Lee. K1 Enter the Beast, Friday, May 2nd. Witness the greatest knockouts in the ring and the toughest fighters in the world. Bob Sapp, Rick Rufus, Michael McDonald, and Kung Lee. It's K1 Enter the Beast on Direct Ticket Pay-Per-View.
At DirecTV, we make it easy to get the channels you want most with great premium services like HBO, Stars, Showtime, Cinemax, and Sports Pack. Get more box office hits, daring originals, sports action, and more, all at a great value. Really? It's just $12 for your first choice, $11 for your second choice, and so on. The more you buy, the more you save, and the more choices you have.
Oh, brilliant! Right on!
Visit DirecTV.com or call 1-800-DIRECTV and order your favorite premium channels today.
Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. All Kobe Bryant did in Game 1 against the Timberwolves was score 39 points, and the Lakers won 117-98. Can Minnesota even the score? That's game 2 of our doubleheader. But right now, let's get back to Marv and his posse.
Thank you, Ernie.
Is that a one-man posse?
Studio refusing to recognize the Czars. We take a look at the Western Conference brackets last night. Spurs able to even up the series. Sacramento made it 2-0 on Utah. The Lakers have to be considered the strongest number 5 seeded team in the history of the NBA playoff. Just 4 on the shot clock. Here's Payton for 3. Anthony Mason keeps it alive. So they get the new 24. Rodgers jumping out on Payton. Kidd over the top of Kukoc and called for a foul. Team foul number 4 on the Nets. Kidd with his second.
So the call had to be made because if there was no steal by New Jersey and then a possible fast break, that's one thing. Milwaukee comes back up with the ball, probably would have let it go. But once he saw the possession was changed in hands, Bob Delaney blew the whistle and gives Milwaukee the possession back again.
So this is a game that has seen 15 ties, 28 lead changes. And they're even at 69. Shot clock out of 3. Traveling violation on Anthony Mason. No lead bigger than 5. Coming up on 30 seconds to go on the third. They fouled on Kidd and Payton took it away.
Michael Redd coming in from behind, getting a little hand in there also, so it was kind of a double team on Kidd that forced the turnover.
5-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock, but Payton saw the opportunity. Nice runner by Payton, who now has 20, Bucks by 2, and we're down to 10 seconds left in the third. They'll use all 10. Out of 3. 2. Rodgers for 3. So that is the end of the third quarter. The Milwaukee Bucks 71. The New Jersey Nets 69. Gary Payton 10 of 16 from the field in a turnaround from what took place in game number 1. Payton 20 points, 6 assists. Kenyon Martin leading the way for the Nets with 16 and 9 as we head to the 4th.
She's all you'd ever want. She's the kind I'd like to flaunt and take to dinner. But she always knows her place. She's got style, she's got grace. She's a winner. She's a lady. Oh, 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 she's a lady. She's a lady. Talking about the little lady.
Can Jimmy play?
Oh, yeah. Jimmy?
Oops.
Can Jimmy come play? Hi, Derek. Jimmy?
Can Jimmy play?
Jimmy?
Slot right, Texas. 22-1-2.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's my job.
Mom, Dad, we're here. Oh, great.
Oh.
The Hyundai Sonata with America's best warranty.
Boy, am I hungry.
When life keeps getting better, you win.
Yo, Mars Blackman here, my main man Michael Jordan on the speed dial. Yo, money is me.
Who?
Me.
Who?
Me. From back in the day.
Mars?
Yeah. Is this really it? You're gonna retire? Going to quit? Is it true?
Yes, Mars.
You sure?
Yes, Mars.
Really? Truly? Cross your heart, hope to die, stick a needle in your eye?
Yes, Mars.
Call me back in 5, doing a commercial, Mr. Nike. You gonna hang him up? You be playing golf? No baseball, though. I'll read with dirt, sayonara. Adios. Avidasing. So long. Goodbye. Farewell. For good. Again?
Goodbye, Mars.
From early mornings to late nights, from the store around the corner to business around the country, your whole family can count on the best wireless network in the nation, Verizon Wireless. Get the America's Choice National Family Share Plan and share unlimited night and weekend minutes on up to 4 separate lines. Hurry and buy one Motorola phone for $29.99 and get a second free. Plus, now get unlimited text messaging for only $2.99 monthly access. So no one's ever out of the loop. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good.
The fire temperature is the secret to great tasting sourdough bread.
Like sourdough bread, burgers taste better cooked over an open fire.
This burger is so juicy.
The sourdough bacon cheeseburger is back at Burger King and better than ever. A quarter pound of beef cooked over an open fire. 2 slices of Swiss cheese, 4 strips of bacon, lettuce, and tomatoes, all served on buttery toasted sourdough bread. Hurry in now. This offer ends soon.
It is on to the 4th quarter. A lovely shot of the New Jersey Turnpike. I believe, Czar, you stopped off for a candy bar on the way to the arena.
This is where I grew up, right in this area. Are you making fun of this area?
No, I'm not making fun of the area, just dealing with your pregame habits.
My habits?
The Bucks with a 71-69 lead on the Nets. Game 2 of the best of 7. Bucks hoping to tie the series at 1. Nets would love to take a 2-0 lead back to the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. And the call away from the ball as Thomas and Martin got involved. The foul on Martin, that is his 3rd. The Nets with 4 apiece on Jefferson and Collins. The only Buck in trouble, Prisbilla, with 4. Michael Redd being played by Lucius Harris. Here's Tim Thomas from downtown. Rebounded by Rodney Rogers.
Don't see Michael Redmore involved in the offense the way he normally is. He comes off the bench and supplies some instant scoring for Milwaukee. Jersey paying very close attention to him. And Thomas in trouble right now. Down low, but nice block on the shot.
Shot clock to 3. Harris looking to unleash. He does. Michael Redd, this is only the 2nd playoff game of his NBA career. And what a difference from game 1 on Saturday in the department of fast break points. Bucks tonight with 13. Look at the Nets.
That's unusual. Very unusual for New Jersey.
Here is Payton. And Gary Payton has had the touch. 11 of 17, 22 points.
And as I said, that's unusual for New Jersey. The reason it is because 55% shooting by Milwaukee.
Anthony Mason defending on Kenyon Martin, looking to use his strength. Martin is turned back. Last touch by the Bucks.
The power and strength to go up against Kenyon Martin, well, Anthony Mason certainly has that.
Here's Rogers. The shot clock was running down, rebounded by Williams. They get the new 24. We're early in the 4th. The Bucks with a 4-point lead on the Nets. Aaron Williams. And Anthony Mason on the rebound.
Well, what I was saying before about 55% shooting from Milwaukee, that's so unusual against the Nets. They're 2nd best in the NBA at opponent field goal percentage. Payton with the drive, and we see the follow missing by Irvin Johnson. The 42% shooting allows them to get out on a lot fast break. When Milwaukee shoots 55%, not as many opportunities, obviously.
Tony Kukoc switching off to Jason Kidd. Nice ball movement by the Nets. Harris not able to convert from downtown.
Milwaukee fortunate because they've left Harris alone for too many wide open shots. He is a very, very good shooter.
And Harris comes off a strong game on Saturday. Here is Redd. Harris on it. It's a 3-on-2. Rogers from Harris.
Well, Harris, normally the scorer, became the passer that time. You mentioned his strong game in game number 1. 17 points off the bench on 6 for 10 shooting, 2 for 3 from behind the three-point line.
Bucks 73, the Nets 71. Kukoc for 3. Kept alive by Red, but Martin on the steal. Here comes Kidd. And Kukoc able to slow him down. Martin. And it's not the shot that he was looking for. Red on the open floor. Beautiful move. And it's called for the offensive foul. Michael Red having a tough time.
Yeah, he just can't find how to get himself going, whether it's a jump shot, whether it's driving into the basket. Jason Kidd slides over, gets his body in front. The crossover, he beats Harris, but it's the rotation of Kidd taking the charge. Offensive foul.
So where should I play next year?
Where do you want to play next year? Because you have offers from Dallas, Toronto, Miami, and LA.
Tell me about LA.
Old filter what you don't need. Keep what's good. MGD.
From early mornings to late nights, from the store around the corner to business around the country, your whole family can count on the best wireless network in the nation, Verizon Wireless. Get the America's Choice National Family Share Plan and share unlimited night and weekend minutes on up to 4 separate lines. Hurry and buy one Motorola phone for $29.99 and get a second free. Plus, now get unlimited text messaging for only $2.99 monthly access. So no one's ever out of the loop. Verizon Wireless. We never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good.
The cop who won't stop is back.
You're the great Sam Gerard.
Yes, I am.
And you always have to win.
Yes, I do. Tommy Lee Jones, Wesley Snipes, U.S. Marshal. Friday at 9 on TNT.
Would you like to own your own business and enjoy financial independence? Nationwide Cyber Systems introduces the most exciting business opportunity of the 21st century, public access internet terminals. These amazing machines offer high-speed internet access, email, and video email to the public for only 25 cents per minute. They take cash and credit cards. Bill Gates says in any area where there's payphones, you'll start to find public internet terminals. Forecasters predict that 300,000 of these machines will be in service throughout the U.S. by 2005. How many would you like to own? Nationwide can start you in a turnkey business and help you secure the most profitable locations in your area before someone else gets them. You can start part-time and expand according to your own timetable. Call now for your free video and information package. There is unlimited income potential. Don't delay. The best locations won't last long.
Welcome back with the Bucks leading 73-71. Let's look at how the opportunity arises to get a transition score for Jersey. Lucius Harris chases the ball down. Now Harris with the basketball is in the middle of the floor. He looks to his right and sees Jason Kidd filling the right lane. Rogers the left lane as they now head down, running their outside lanes to form the fast break opportunity. Now what will happen is as they get down into the key area, decision-making time. Defense stops the ball. Here's your second defender. Their job, the offense, continue to run your lanes and let the guy in the middle advance it and then make a decision. The key is the bounce pass to the left. No defender there. Rogers with the finish.
And Czar for the Nets. Their only field goal the last 5 minutes and 45 seconds. 1 for their last 8. Yet they're down by only 2 points.
Finally get a transition opportunity and they convert it. 3-on-2 fast break.
Urban Johnson back on Kenyon Martin. Martin draws the foul. Kenyon headed back to the line. 4 for 5 from the line. Nets have done a nice job of the foul line. They've hit 14 of their 16. Kenyon Martin has emerged as One of the NBA's best young players, George Karl, saying the other day he sees Kenyon making All-NBA within the next couple of years.
Martin steps up, hits the first one. He's a 65% shooter during the regular season from the foul line. And he has made great strides in his game. Little by little, he always has had the toughness. He's become a better defensive player. He was a good one when he came in. And now you see his offensive game development. Hits those free throws.
And he is doing all this with a tender ankle, playing through that twisted left ankle. Missed practice the last couple of days. Game tied at 73, 4 minutes in, fourth quarter. Kukoc looking to post. Desmond Mason coming up short. Grabbed by Michael Redd. They have the new clock. Kukoc played by Jefferson. Here's Kukoc. It has not been dropping for Tony Kukoc. Redd is on it. Another opportunity, and Michael Redd finally hits a perimeter shot.
Well, I want to go back to the third quarter when Sam Cassell hit the two-pointer and the three-pointer back-to-back. That made him 7 for 9 from the floor. He is still 7 for 9 from the floor. He has not had another field goal attempt.
Martin, rebounded by Cassell. So Cassell and Kukoc handling the ball with Gary Payton getting a rest. Cassell for Mason. Now Martin switches off to Cassell. And Cassell wants to go at him. Shoots over him. Been able to hustle it, and he's tripped up by Desmond Mason.
Did that surprise you that that shot was coming just then by Sam Cassell? Cassell finally gets the ball back, and you see him do his little dances through the leg dribble, gets that shot out there. He wants to see if he can get himself going. It is a foul. Not intentional, but still a foul. You take the legs out of the player like that, you have to call it.
Bucks with a 75-73 lead. Mason Collins is back. Here's Harris. The game is tied at 75, 8 points for Lucius Harris.
You're asking for problems if you're going to continue to leave Lucius Harris open, because he will knock down jump shots on you.
Gary Payton making his way to the scorer's table. He will check back in. Cassell, yes.
That's his shot, that's his range. Two spots on the floor he likes. That low left block where he backs point guards down and shoots over him, or coming off those weak side screens around the corner of the foul line area.
Milwaukee back to the 2-point lead. Jefferson goes to the step back, and he's tied the game at 77. Richard Jefferson has 14 points. Marv Albert with the czar, Mike Fratello, D. Lynam. We're at the New Jersey Meadowlands. Game 2 of the best of 7. And the Nets and the Bucks are tied at 77.
And that's one of those shots that you could have done without. That was just a quick catch it and just toss it to get it up there to see if he can make a second jump on the road for Michael Redd. A little more selective would help.
Martin putting on the floor. A beautiful move by Kenyon Martin. 20 points for Martin. George Karl wants to talk it over.
Good timeout by George Karl. Even though it's only a 2-point game, it's a good timeout. He's going to talk about shot selection right now and get his defense back together again.
Witness a dream.
NASA wants to send us into space.
40 years in the making.
Shoot this baby to the moon.
Space Cowboys. Saturday night after the NBA on TNT. We know drama.
Thanks for making me a fighter.
Oh, yeah.
complete.
Caught you looking, that's okay. Everybody looks at my boy that way. Checking out that body, digging on those moves. Forge traveling in a whole new groove. Yeah, you got that style to the mind. Can we go for a spin, baby? Have you looked at boy? Have you looked at boy lately? If you haven't looked at boy lately, look again.
You know I like you, and I like you a lot. I like Janice a lot too, and I know she's your roommate.
Janice?
I'm not sure how to say this to you. You know that I like you a lot, right?
Yeah.
It's just that I like Janice a lot too, and I know she's your roommate, and I wouldn't...
So date both of us.
What? What did you say?
Here's tonight's Budweiser headlines. We'll start with Deshaun Stevenson of the Utah Jazz, who has been suspended for conduct detrimental to the team. The length of the suspension not announced. Chris Webber went down with a back injury in last night's game against the Utah Jazz. Game won again by the Kings. We're told an MRI was negative. He's been called day-to-day and is a question mark for Game 3 on Saturday. And yes, Shaq is back. Shaquille O'Neal will play tonight against the Timberwolves after leaving South Carolina for his grandfather's wake. Back with the Lakers at the Target Center, getting ready for the second of our playoff doubleheader right here on TNT. Jason Kidd with the steal. Racing has Jefferson. And Jefferson is fouled. The basket will not count.
You know, Marv, I may have wanted to comment on the around the league stuff. He just kind of went through it and took the whole thing. I had some very insightful things. But we'll see a little transition act here by New Jersey. And the attempted finish, you stop layups by taking good, clean, hard fouls.
Actually, the strategy is to go right through every point so you cannot comment. 5:06 remaining of the fourth, and the Nets have a 79-77 lead. Well, the Nets up by 3. And they've hit 17 of 20 at the line. You hear the chant of defense from this crowd. Harry Payton is back. He and Cassell at the guards. Desmond Mason, Anthony Mason, and Tim Thomas up front. And the call against Milwaukee. Offensive foul, says Bob Delaney. Illegal screen set by Anthony Mason.
I'm not sure I agree with that one. I don't know if Mason necessarily stepped out of his way to his right to hit the defensive player. It was an outside handoff. From my particular angle, it didn't look like he moved to his right. That's a pretty big body right there to run into.
Sets the pick. Martin rebounded by Collins, and a foul against the Bucks. That's their 4th team foul. It's on Payton, number 4 on down.
What was taking place, as we see, the reason New Jersey has been able to inch back in, tie the game, and then move ahead by 3 and now go and get the ball back out again is because Milwaukee has not been able to score the basketball against New Jersey's defense.
Jefferson for the crossover. That's an excellent defensive team. They allow just 90 points per game. That's second best in the league. Here's Payton from downtown. Cassell got a piece of it, diving, but Kidd recaptured. Kidd going at Kukoc. Sets it up for Jefferson. And Mason with the rebound. Kidd knocked it away, but recovered by Kukoc.
When you look strictly at numbers in 20 minutes, Mason 1 for 1 from the floor, 0 for 2 from the line, 2 points, but he's got 5 rebounds and he's played pretty good defense out there.
Tim Thomas was fouled.
Just when it looks like Milwaukee has the ball, kid knocks it free, dives in, and who does he land on? But that's his family down there, his son and his wife. That's who he lands on. Hey, Dad, how are you?
Want to say hello to TJ?
Yes, my dad.
Foul was on Collins, number 5.
That was, just to clear up, that was Anthony Mason I was speaking about, who's had this performance that you don't look at numbers out there, okay? It's not Desmond Mason, it's Anthony Mason that has been on the floor doing a pretty good job defending Kenyon Martin at the other end also.
Thomas working hard against Martin and draws the foul. That's 4 on Kenyon Martin. That's with their 13th foul. TJ shaken up. So the son of Javon and Jason Kidd.
May not have seen him coming over after that loose ball.
Tim Thomas only 1 of 4 at the line. And Thomas, a 78% free throw shooter. Reminder coming up next here on TNT. It's the Lakers and the Timberwolves from Minneapolis. Game 2 tomorrow night at 7. The Hornets and the Sixers will be at First Union Center in Philadelphia, followed by the Trailblazers and the Mavericks. And tomorrow on NBA TV at 8 o'clock, it's the Magic and the Pistons. The Nets 80, the Bucks 79. Jefferson try to squeeze his way, and a foul is called. That will put Milwaukee over the foul limit.
What New Jersey has done is a very good job of, when they dive a man down the middle, Milwaukee's defense collapses to take the layups away, the cut away. Jersey quickly swings the ball to the weak side of the floor, and as the defense from Milwaukee is trying to recover, push out to the weak side, that's when Jersey puts it on the floor and attacks him, and is having great success getting down the lane.
Jefferson now 3 of 5 at the line, a 74% free throw shooter. Richard Jefferson coming a long way in his second NBA season, averaging 15.5 per game. At one point did hit the wall, and then was able to work his way out of it. Nets now lead 81-79.
Yeah, when he did work his way out of it, he was instrumental in getting the Nets back on track because he happened to be the only one making shots for a while.
Coming up on 3 minutes remaining in the fourth. Open shot for Thomas. Yes. A three-pointer for Tim Thomas, who now has 18. So the Bucks take an 82-81 lead.
Excellent ball movement that time. They played offense against New Jersey's defense just the way you draw it up.
On the double, Kukoc with a steal. Here's Cassell being placed. Sam Cassell with a floater to extend to a 3-point lead. And the Nets call for time. 4th steal of the game for Kukoc.
What you see, a very aggressive Tony Kukoc tonight. You can see from the beginning of the year, he gets a hand in that time, strips Lucius Harris, lays it out in front, and then Cassell able to make the layup over the top of Jefferson. I'd say Sam's excited.
The Home Depot is more than a store. It's a powerhouse with powerful names. John Deere, Toro, Honda, and Echo, all in one place. Powerful tools for mowing, blowing, edging, or just riding with the wind. It's a buyer's guide to show you how much power you need. The guaranteed low price every day to make every dollar work. It's the power to turn the outdoors into the great outdoors. The Home Depot. You can do it. We can help.
Everyone knows Jackie Chan can do almost anything. Ow. But when he puts on a $2 billion tux,
Tactical Uniform Experiment,
he can do everything.
enjoy the show.
You killed James Brown.
Jackie Chan.
Hey, pal, nice suit.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Ah!
The Tuxedo. On Blockbuster pay-per-view movies.
During business hours, he serves you with a smile.
I've watched him grow since he was this big. I almost feel like Uncle Si.
Side of photo guy.
You're a very lucky man, Mr. Yorkin.
But after hours, he has you.
What you got there, family photos?
All to himself. Robin Williams. Come on! 1 hour photo.
Order it now on Blockbuster Pay-Per-View Movies.
Playoff basketball, it's different than the regular season.
Over 40 games in 40 nights. TNT, exclusive home of the NBA Western Conference Finals. Win or go home. The drama of the NBA playoffs continues on TNT.
TNT.
Back in the New Jersey Meadowlands, the Bucks with a 7-1 run in only 56 seconds to take all the glare from that shirt. Man, whoa.
A beautiful shirt. You know who made this shirt?
No, we're not going to promote anyone right here. What do you mean? No, I don't know.
That's my former assistant, Sidney Lowe.
Oh, Sidney. I didn't realize it was Sidney. That's different.
Assistant out in Minnesota now.
I figured you were going to give one of your many promotional announcements.
Stop. Come on. I wouldn't do that.
Bucks 84 and the Nets 81 with 2.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Here's Jason Kidd. So the Milwaukee lead is 1. Kidd has 17 points.
That's part of the reason why you have to take timeouts at critical times to try and get your team back organized, get the ball in the right person's hands, and get a shot when you need it. That time Jersey answered the call. Kukoc, big assertive down in the low post area. He's a little big for Jefferson down there.
Jefferson tried to draw the foul, stepped away. Tony Kukoc has been outstanding. 11 points, 6 assists, 4 steals. The Bucks by 3. Here's Harris for 3. Comes back to Kidd, Martin able to tip it, and Kidd lost it off his foot.
Come on, this is the best all-around game I've seen Tony Kukoc play in a long, long time. I mean, he is very aggressive at the offensive end and just as aggressive at the defensive end of the floor.
Although Tony has been a factor in these final weeks for the Bucks, where they've won 8 of their last 9 games. Cassell left the dribble behind him and then comes back for it. There's Thomas, met by Martin, called for steps.
Sam Cassell held the ball just a little bit too long. He got a little too cute in trying to get himself a shot. Then he throws a bad pass across the floor. By the time Thomas can save it and recover, then the ensuing turnover.
A minute 20 to go in the fourth. Bucks by 3. Martin strips. And Mason is on it. Anthony Mason off the skip. So Milwaukee back in possession. Nets have 3 timeouts remaining, 2 and a 20. Bucks with 2. Just under 1 minute remaining on the fourth. Here's Kidd on a reverse. And the Nets just firing it up here.
You want to make sure that you get a high percentage shot right now. Run that clock down a little bit and then get yourself a good shot. Critical time for Milwaukee in a 3-point basketball game.
Nets do have 1 foul to give. Payton rebounded by Martin. Half minute remaining on the fourth. Nets down by 3.
Good job of getting back in transition defense. Byron Scott wants to talk it over, knowing they're down 3 points. 23 seconds remaining in the game. 16 on the shot clock. Timeout, New Jersey.
16 on the shot clock. 23 seconds to go on the fourth. We'll be back in a moment.
Tradition.
The look on the other guy's face. To be my own Manning.
Being a woman.
Because last year, I couldn't.
Millions of little girls.
Every athlete is fueled by something.
Introducing Intel Centrino mobile technology. The new wireless laptop technology designed to help you untangle, unburden, and unwire your life.
Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. Shaquille O'Neal had 32 points Sunday, went to South Carolina Monday for the wake of his late grandfather, is back with the Lakers now and ready to go in Game 2 against the Timberwolves. It's next year on TNT. Back to Marv and his playoff pod.
Well put. Thank you, Ernie. Well, Czar, if you're Milwaukee, do you foul the Nets rather than give up a three-point opportunity?
Well, the one thing that I'm sure George Karl is talking about is who are the best three-point shooters on the floor for New Jersey. You're talking about Lucius Harris and Jason Kidd. The next thing is understand a two-pointer, you're still up one. A three-pointer ties you. So if a guy is beating you off the dribble, you can foul, put him on the line right now, because then you know Jersey has to foul you right back again when you inbound the ball. Well, up a three.
They're playing it out. Harris lost it. There's Kidd looking to tie. Rebound Martin. So they're within one. 11 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. And Ed Rush calling a foul away from the ball. Or did he call a timeout? Let's see.
I think he called a foul. I thought I saw him give the foul signal right there.
Cassell is shaken up.
We'll see Cassell calling for the ball, and there the defense comes over the top, hits him in the head, and fouls him. That's where the foul is called.
Collins with the hard hit on Cassell. That's number 6 on Collins, so he is fouled out. 11 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Sam Cassell still rubbing his chin.
Marv, in this situation, they get to shoot the basketball and they get the ball back again, Milwaukee.
It's one free throw on the ball because Cassell was fouled away from the ball.
Ball was out of bounds. That's when he was fouled.
Cassell making his first appearance at the line. So the Bucks now lead 87-85, and Milwaukee in possession.
And he is allowed to run the baseline right now with this inbounds pass. He does not have to stand in a spot. He can run the baseline to free himself up, which is really critical.
All right, Kukoc will throw in. Gets it to Thomas, immediately fouled by Jefferson. So that's 5 on Jefferson. That's now over the limit. 10.4 remaining in this fourth quarter. Thomas just 3 of 6 at the line. He's hit both his attempts here in the fourth quarter. And the Bucks 8 of 16 as a team here tonight.
78% shooter from the foul line for the regular season, Thomas.
Nets do have a full timeout on a 20 remaining. Bucks have 2 timeouts left. And Thomas will get the treatment from this crowd. Looking to put the Bucks up by 4. Nets checking with their head coach, Byron Scott. Want to see if he wants a timeout. Bucks now 8 for 17 at the line. And he misses both. Aaron Williams with the rebound and calls for time. Tim Thomas with 2 critical misses. Thomas 3 of 8 from the line. We'll be back in a moment.
The first major advance for the fastest treatment of athlete's foot is Lamisil AT. Lamisil AT is the first non-prescription medicine proven to kill the fungus with just 1 week's use. Not even a prescription can beat that. Lotrimin AF and Tenactin still expect you to treat for 4 weeks. Who's going to do that? When your feet itch and burn, using Lamisil AT 1 week keeps you athlete's foot free 3 months. Lamisil AT. There's no better way to cure athlete's foot.
New Jersey a moment ago. Tim Thomas could have given the Bucks a 4-point lead. Instead, after missing the 2 free throws, it's the Bucks by 2. The Nets in possession with 10 seconds remaining on the floor.
And you have to realize that the ball is going to go into Jason Kidd's hands, and then it's up to him to create something. You may see a high pick and roll. You have to be ready to switch if you're Milwaukee right now, because you don't want him to turn that corner and either score the layup or throw it back for a three-pointer, which could win the game for him. Kidd is the key here.
All right, Rogers throws in. Kidd played by Payton. Here's Kidd looking to tie. Rebound is batted around. And a foul is called on the Nets. Foul on Harris. We're down to 2.9 remaining, and again the Bucks to the line.
And one of the big pluses for Milwaukee is that they have a Gary Payton who gets the respect from the officials and has the ability to keep Jason Kidd in front of him, and when he elevates for the jump shot, to go up and challenge. And then you see Tim Thomas tips the ball to his teammate, which allows him to secure the rebound. And now Desmond Mason goes to the free throw line to shoot 2.
0 for 2 from the line, a 75% free throw shooter. The Bucks, 8 of 19 at the line. It has been a horrendous performance at the foul line.
And New Jersey has a 20-second timeout left.
Well, Mason hits 1 of 2 to extend to a 3-point lead, and the Nets take their 20.
And now with rule changes, you are allowed to advance the ball on a 20-second timeout. In the old days, you could not do that on a 20-second, but now you can advance the ball up to the half-court area and run a play. Plenty of time to catch and shoot and look at the three-point shot. Again, the best three-point shooters for New Jersey. Lucius Harris shooting almost 35%. Jason Kidd shooting 34% from the three-point line. Terry Kittles has been inserted in the game, also a good three-point shooter. Kittles 36% from the three-point line.
And George Karl telling his team, we do not want a foul.
Well, you can foul him before he shoots it.
I'm talking about on a three-point
shot. You can give him 2 now because he's winning the game by 3.
All right, Kittles. And a pass not handled by Rogers. It's all over. A bullet pass, and Rogers not able to make the play. Tony Kukoc is hurt over at the far
And that's
side.
what happened. It was the collision with Rogers going after the ball. He tripped over Kukoc's leg. Kukoc banged his knee, I think, on the floor as they were going after. You'll see the accidental contact right there taking place. And Kukoc, as he goes after it now, saves it and hits his knee into the table.
And you can see why Rogers was upset. He felt he was tripped up, and he felt there should have been a foul called.
He trips on the foot of Gary Payton. That's what knocks him down.
And Tony Kukoc, who had a terrific game, hobbles off. Tony, 11 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 5 steals. Gary Payton with a bounce back here, 22 points, 7 assists, as the Bucks have evened up this series at 1. Let's go to D with Gary Payton.
Thanks very much, Marv. Start with the end of the game, Gary. Final possession for New Jersey. You know the ball's going to be in the hands of Jason Kidd. How do you intend to defend him, and how did it work out for him?
Well, you know, I just tried to keep in front of him, and I made him take a shot that he really didn't want. I think he pulled up, and then I got a hand up. When you contest shots like that, they seem to always jack back. And I stayed in front of him, made him do what he had to do, and he missed a shot.
Gary, would you say this was won by your guys' team defensive effort, both in the way you defended the transition and how you played the half-court defense?
I think so. I think if we stop them from running their transition and make them play a half-court defense and rebound the ball, we can win the basketball game. That's what we did today. We didn't do that in the first game. We let them get a lot of transition baskets, and we didn't let them get that tonight, and we came out with a victory.
All right, Gary, thank you very much. Good luck to you back in Milwaukee.
Thank you.
All right, Marv?
R.D. Payton with 22, Casella 21, Thomas 18, Kenyon Martin led the Nets with 22. This series is tied at 1 as they head back to Milwaukee. Coming up next, Game 2, the Lakers and the Timberwolves from Minneapolis. TNT will continue all night with post-game reaction interviews and news from tonight's activity. For the Czar, Mike Fratello. For D. Lynham, this is Marv Albert saying good night from the Continental Airlines Arena. After a short break, we'll send you to Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Charles Barkley for a game break presented by Southwest Airlines.